Reading this finance book, or like Automatic Millionaire or whatever, and I really wasn't expecting to do a video about it, but like I couldn't make a video about it because I know too many young people like myself that are like, you know, whether we feel like we're financially struggling or whatever the case, and I want to kind of like spew some like wisdom out there. I'm pretty like calm and relaxed, and right now because I just been reading for like 2 hours straight. But I just wanted to like basically like kind of like let people know. So the book I'm reading is called The Automatic Millionaire, expanded and updated, a powerful one-step plan to live and finish rich. Is written by David Bach. I believe that's how you, I don't know, David Bach or David Bach. David Bach might be what it is. But basically like the book is basically telling you like exactly self-explanatory, one way to become rich, to basically become rich. And like it's not like some stupid ass scheme like we about to flip this money. Like no, it's literally telling you like things you need to know in life so that you can actually like accumulate this growth in wealth and become like a rich person. So like I really didn't expect to be doing a video about like finance. I never took myself as a finance person. In the book basically it's like a one step. The one step is basically understanding that you have to pay yourself first. So when you have a job and you get paid, and you know the first thing you do is, oh, I gotta pay all my bills. Like no, you don't do that. The first thing you have to do is basically pay yourself first. Basically you should be paying yourself every single day. The same way how you're working for other people to give them money, you should be working for yourself to make sure you're like building a future for yourself. So savings, because that savings is like equivalent to making sure you have a good life at least, you know. So you're supposed to be saving, and usually they tell you, well, in the book he says that you should be saving like 10% of your paycheck based off of what you are making. So say that you make basically $1,000 in a week, right? So if I make $1,000 in a week, basically you're gonna take 10% every single time that you get a paycheck. Sometimes it could be more than 10%. It could be like 10 to 15%. And in the book he like gives an example of basically like 12.5 is in between 10 and 15. So if you're making $1,000 in a week and you basically take 12.5% out of that $1,000, that's $125 that you should be saving in a week. And now you break that up because it's $125. You don't want to just give that up straight up. You basically have $25. Whatever you would be spending that's unnecessary, you would basically put that towards that. So in a day, if you spend $25 on a meal, which is fucking ridiculous, you should basically put that into your savings, and $25 each day. Now it doesn't have to be, he lets it be known that it doesn't have to be literally like 10%. It doesn't have to be 12.5%. It doesn't have to be 15%. It can be, you can start with 1%. He said himself that he started with 1%, and then he went to 3%, and then he went to 5%, and then you just build up as you go. Like obviously if you know you're making like $12 an hour and you feel like, oh my god, I don't want to give up a majority of my paycheck, you know, obviously yes, you can think like that, and you can start small until you feel like after a while this is a little normal. But also think about like if you are somebody who's saying like, oh my god, I can't, you need to take that out of your vocabulary, and you don't have a reason to complain. So like obviously I'm gonna take my own advice as well if I'm letting everyone else know, but you know, like, and also a very 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 like good resource a lot of people would have with finances is learn whatever job you have. And usually a lot of companies have this. I've known this already before that, but I wasn't really like well versed in like the terminology and what happens, so I definitely didn't like pay attention or really look into it. But a lot of companies generally have 401ks, and basically like if you work for like a school or a nonprofit, usually it's called 403k, I believe so. I think that's what he definitely said, that it's usually just called like a 403. And usually if you work for like, you know, obviously a profit company, it's called a 401k. And really these are like basically retirement plans. And so these retirement plans are free half the time, and they're pre-taxed. So the basis behind the idea of like it being pre-tax, the government, every single time, you know how when you get your taxes, they take taxes out of your fucking paycheck, and you like, oh my god, why'd they take my whole paycheck? Usually, or not usually, they always take 30 cents to every dollar that you make. So you always have 70 cents left of every dollar you make, and that basically is a blow, basically like that, because after that, then you still, like, it's still taxable after that, you know? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, because then there's a lot more taxes that come with it. Then you have fucking goddamn Medicaid and you know, state, all these things. Like, the government is taking one part, but then you have also state tax and all these other things that go into it. So a lot of shit is getting taken out regardless. So now you got to think about it like, okay, so if now you have to be more like well versed with the terminology and resources you have in your job. So like, if you have a 401k, if they're giving you a 401k, usually it's pre-tax, and usually if that's the case, hopefully the company you work for matches that. So they'll match it by like however the percentage that they usually do, whether it be 25% or whatever the case may be. But you know, you should take that into consideration, basically. Like, understand that the human race has like gotten so accustomed to like, you're gonna go to work and you're gonna come home and then you're gonna spend your money. You're gonna go to work, basically go to work, get your paycheck, and spend your money. And it's like, over time, you're gonna be living paycheck to paycheck, which 90% of the world is doing anyway. And that's exactly why a lot of the people that literally, it's like a 1% that is rich and they living off of everybody else, because they move smart. Even if these people are fucking vindictive and disgusting, there are also 1%ers who move very smart. So I'm gonna let you guys know a little chart in the book where it basically says that you pay yourself if you start paying yourself now, you will literally be worth, like, I'm not saying that the amount of money that you would have, I'm telling you, what you are worth, everything all together, what you're worth, you would be worth over $1 million already by the time you're like 65. Even like, you would already be worth 6 figures by the time you probably like in your 30s, most likely already. And basically, like, yeah, if you say there's a chart in the book, the time value of money, basically it's called, and it basically tells you invest now and not later. And they have a chart of 3 people. Somebody invested at 15, another person invested at 19, another person invested at 27. And these people all, by the time that they're 65, already have like the value is already, their value is already over $1 million plus 6 figures after that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you invest every single time that you take 10%, you know, and you basically get an annual return. This basically gives you the amount of like $3K a year that you're basically investing. You're investing $3K a year. And over time, that $3K adding up is basically going to make you a millionaire by the time that you're probably in your retirement phase. And half the time, and well, like now, a lot of people are not even really retiring now sometimes, you know? If you're working, you're doing something that you love, then like, you know, most likely you probably won't really retire. You get what I'm saying? You might like, okay, I'm gonna, like, you know, leave my business to somebody I trust or a manager. Because usually people who, if you are a creative and you're somebody who owns a business, you're never going to be the person who is managing that business. You're going to, usually the people who are owning these businesses are people who have so many ideas in their head. So it's like, you literally have to be like, you know, okay, so I'm gonna pay somebody to manage my business because that's what I'm supposed to do. You know, there needs to be somebody for every position that I need to play because I can't do it all by myself. So I just really encourage you guys. I was saying another thing I basically recommend, study some successful people. Study people that tell you like to make mistakes and to like do, like, you know, go after your dreams. People that tell you things like that are to never stop and to how to work smart and not work hard. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's great to be a hard worker, but it's better to work smart, because if you are working so much and you're not getting the correct amount of sleep, you are not allowing yourself to be like, you know, this attentive, focused, amazing, you know, formally executed person that can do all the things that you need to do. So definitely just do that. I had to freaking add to this video and remember where I basically the camera stopped. But yeah, the book is called The Automatic Millionaire, the extended and updated version. 1 Step to Becoming a Millionaire. Okay, to be rich. Yeah, by David Botch. If it's not the right way that I'm saying it, please let me know the correct way. You know, just like, you know, let me know. And yes, follow me on Instagram. It'll be in the description below. Subscribe to my channel, regular stuff. I'm gonna stop saying this after a while because it's just like, hopefully people will just do it. So later. Peace.